Well, good morning to all the listeners and viewers for Around the Table here at KHOZ. We're glad that you're joining us this morning.
Yes, welcome.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Ann.
How are you, Dan?
I am doing so good.
Are you?
I'm forcing that a little bit.
Dan was telling me about a little discombobulation he had over the weekend, didn't he? Yeah. But it's a fine, what is today? Tuesday? Is today Tuesday?
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm playing along with the music. I'm a drummer.
Not anymore, you're not.
Yeah, no, sorry. I can still drum.
Yes, you can. Are you sweaty? Is it hot? Are you humid? It's humid today.
It is hot and humid.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
I only want to take short bits of it.
You want to go refresh inside where it's cool?
Well, I want to run from the house to the car. But not really run too fast because
that's going to break a sweat.
You'll break a sweat.
Come on.
It's humid.
It is humid.
I don't like the humidity.
When I woke up I get up at 5 or 5:15-ish anyway, and I went and looked at our little thermometer thing, and it was like 88% humidity already outside.
Yep.
With 70 degrees something, but it felt like, it said my inside temperature and the outside temperature were the same, but they felt 100% different.
Because of humidity.
Because of the humidity.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you take the water out and your body works better.
Well,
it does
not
work
physically.
Yeah, it does. It works better. You take all the humidity out of the air.
No, I mean out of your body.
Oh, no. You don't want to do that. I think your body's made up of 80-some% water anyway.
It would be a little problem. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just like to give you a hard time about it.
What else is new?
I don't know. I don't know, Dan.
So how's the road construction there on Highway 7 North?
Let me tell you.
Somebody put a picture on Facebook, and it was like a mile long of cars.
It is.
Why are they holding people back so far? I mean, what's the deal?
They're paving right now. They're paving one side, and then as I came, that was yesterday morning, and I come home, I don't go back out. Thankfully, I haven't had rehearsals they're gone by then.
Yeah, right.
But today when I came, I left my house by 7:50, because I had to go run an errand. Mm-hmm. But they were doing the other side, paving it for a short span. I don't know who cooks it up and who decides how they're going to do it. But I know when you have to wait during commute times, like for work and on the way home for work, if you have to wait 40 to 50 minutes, that's a little excessive.
That is too long.
It's not right.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. We talked yesterday about calling RDOT, and I forgot.
Well, how do they do it? Do they block one lane off and
Yes.
then they let people go back and forth?
Right.
Is that how they do it? Yeah. Well, that's kind of the only way.
Well, it is. I noticed somebody must have got mad because there were some cones like.
Oh, somebody just got a little upset.
Nailed some cones.
Here's what I think of your cones, buddy.
But you have to slow. I mean, there's people walking the road. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's part of it.
And a lot of people know the back road, so they just avoid it completely.
And I looked that up, but I wasn't at a place when I had to stop that I could get to the turnoff to do that.
Yeah.
And by the time, when I go back home, it'll be different. I mean, they'll be moved down further, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grit and bear it.
Well,
And a friend said, it'll probably be another month. And I thought, I'm going to hurt you for saying that. And I don't think it can possibly take another month. I hope not.
Yeah. Well,
depends on how far they're going, I guess. If they get past my road, I don't care.
Yeah. It's funny when they start a job, they're all gung ho, let's get it done, and then all of a sudden they take off for 3 weeks or something.
Right.
What are they doing?
And they must start early. Yeah. I would too in this heat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because before 8 o'clock they were out there. I figured it was around 8 when they started, but evidently earlier than that. But which I don't blame them.
I have never had a job of roofing houses. Like the flat. What do you call them? Flat roofs.
Yes.
Business commercial flat.
Right.
Roof. But somebody told me that is probably the hardest job they've ever had.
Why is that?
Working in the heat, and then the tar that they put on, they heat that up too.
It's got to be, but you get acclimated to. My brother used to lay brick, and he would be out there. I mean, all of them would be out there doing it in the heat, in
Yeah.
the sun, in the whatever. And he did get dehydrated once and went to the hospital. I mean, he had to,
Yeah.
he had
Yeah.
a problem.
That's what my dad's profession was, a bricklayer, and we had to be the hod carriers for him.
Yes.
And
It's
to,
hot.
And to cool off, the mud guy that made
Yes.
the mortar and stuff.
That's the new guy.
The new guy? No, the new guy had to build scaffolds.
Oh, was that you?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
But they would have like a 55-gallon barrel of water, to mix the sand and the mortar and stuff.
No, did you ever dump it on your head?
No.
Oh.
But I would stick my hands in there all the way up to just to cool off. That's how I cooled off. It was so hot.
Well, you
doing that kind of
probably
work.
had to really protect your skin, too, because you're so light complexion.
No.
Oh.
There was no sunscreen back in those days.
But you, not even a long sleeve shirt, is what I was thinking.
Back then, I'm fair complected. Mm-hmm. I have very little melon, whatever it is. The makes you brown. The stuff that makes you brown. I have no makes you brown stuff in my body. So my dad could tan.
Yeah.
And everyone else could tan, but I couldn't. And he said, you just need to stay out in the sun longer.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's what the whole concept was back then. If you're going to be a worker, then you stay out in the sun more.
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
And they didn't know the damage that can be caused because of doing that
Right.
as well.
And I have damaged skin
Well, and my
from
son,
that. Yeah.
I have a son that's just like that. He's
Yep.
light and he does not tan. He will not tan. He will turn red.
Yep.
And then my other one tans like I do.
Yeah, that's just kind of the curse.
It is. It's sorry.
Yep.
Sorry for you people.
Sorry.
I don't know what to,
Tried everything in the book.
don't know
and
what to tell you. Wear
the-
your sunscreen.
The only way I can tan is if I spray it on.
Well, there you go. Or wear some hose.
Wear
I
some
mean,
hose.
that'll make your legs tan.
Wear some hose.
We were talking about dresses and hose and
Yeah.
silly things such as that today.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah.
you dressed up today. Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
You
I'm
wore a
going
dr-
to the grocery store real quick after this, and then I'm going
You
back.
wore a dress.
I did. I'll tell you why.
Now you're going to tell me why because you told me why earlier,
Yes.
and I said, "Wow, where are you going today? You look nice today."
I dressed up for you, Dan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Actually, Lisa Johnson with New Country 102.9
Yeah.
walked in here yesterday with this cute little black
Yeah, she came
dress
in
and a little
yesterday.
sweater on. I was like, oh, she looks adorable. I have a little black dress. My dress isn't as cute as hers, but I have one.
So basically,
Here it
it's
is.
like
Oh.
I'm not going to let the Joneses outdo me,
Not
right?
really. It's just a reminder that I had something.
Oh, okay.
And I told you I've been going through my closet trying
Now-
to wear
now-
stuff that I don't wear.
Now, what's she going to think when she comes in? Oh, that hussy.
She might, and I'll tell her, yeah, I was hussying right after you.
Now,
there you go.
what is this thing about two women at a party wearing the same outfit? What is that all about?
They went shopping at the same
No.
store. What
I
do
mean, it's
you
kind
mean
of
they
the
have
no.
a problem?
It's the no thing to do, right?
I don't really care.
I mean, but some people.
But some people do.
Yeah, it's like,
I
I gotta
know.
leave now.
I don't care. I'm clothed. I'll consider that a win.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do some weather.
You
How
want to
about
do
it?
some weather?
Today's sunny.
We talked about how horrible it is. Why we even talk about it now?
You want to just throw this in the trash?
This one?
People, sunny high 96. That's all you need to know. And then the low tonight is
No. You're not finished there. There's a heat index attached to this.
103.
Yes, today.
I feel it already.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty dadgum hot.
Well, and I think the low of 71, that's what, over 20 degrees difference, but I don't think you're going to feel it because of the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity's going to be really high. I think I've got an app for that.
Can I keep going?
You go right ahead.
Okay.
And I'll tell
a
you.
slight chance of showers tomorrow before 7 a.m., so during the early morning hours, I guess. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 90. Heat index will be 99 tomorrow. And then chance of precip increases to 70%, which we need, especially before the 4th of July comes in here. People are shooting fireworks, yada, yada, yada. We want the grass wet. And, we need
We want the
water.
grass wet?
We need, well, I think you need to have things not so dry when fireworks go off. That's like a fire hazard. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low of 67. And then Thursday's a high of 88. Thursday night, low of 69. Friday is a high of 95, with Friday night being a low of 75. You can whoop it on in there on Saturday if you like.
Okay, I'll talk about Saturday right now. Let's see. Mostly sunny on Saturday. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. High near 96. Saturday night, 20% chance of showers continues, and a low of 72. 40% chance of thunderstorms happening on a Sunday, and then a Monday, high near 93.
There you go. It's hot.
I'm looking at the humidity for today, and it says the average is 52%.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
where
just
that
gonna
is. That in Arkansas? Is that in Arizona?
No, it's
somewhere else. I don't
in
know.
Arkansas, and tomorrow it's like 67. It's gone up quite a bit from yesterday, and then Thursday, 64% humidity. But the UV index is extremely, extremely high.
So watch it.
Yeah, sunscreen.
Yep.
And I do now. And
Well,
I wear
I'm
a
proud.
hat.
Good boy.
And I'm looking for more long sleeve, the really thin.
Yes.
And it's UV. You can buy that stuff. It's UV
Sure.
protected, so I'm looking for more of those.
Well, that's a good idea.
I know the damage is there, but I'm trying to.
The damage is done, but you don't want more damage.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't cry. I mean, we
Nope.
all sympathetic to your problems. That was difficult for you to do.
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
Dan,
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
ponder something. You want to?
Do what?
You want to ponder something?
You want to ponder?
Let's ponder.
Let's go ponder.
Let's go ponder.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
What?
It's an AI.
Oh
Imagine
my
that.
gosh. AI has no sense of humor.
If you would send me a multitude of topics to ponder
will.
that are not AI, or just stick
I
them
will.
on there, I think that'd be great.
Well, the only reason I don't send them to you is because of the middleman,
I know.
and it
But you
sometimes
need to
gets
sit,
put
you
on.
need to do
and
it a week
sometimes-
ahead.
Okay. I'll
Okay. What shapes our sense of self, and how does it evolve over time?
Sense of self.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
do I know who the heck I am? What shapes our sense of self? This can be explained. Who are you, and how does it evolve over time? Do you know who you really are?
But
And
I know-
how does that evolve over?
I don't know
as
how
you-
to verbalize who I am.
As you get older, do you know more about? Are you in better connection with yourself than you were when you
Yes.
were younger? Me too.
Yes.
I look back on my younger life and I go, it scares me.
I did some stupid stuff.
Yeah, me too. I mean, really stupid.
Yeah. But that's I call
Criminal.
it maturity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, I don't even know what the question is, to tell you the truth.
what shapes
What
our sense of self?
What shapes our sense of self?
I think experience. I think those
Yeah.
people are the people we are involved with and
Mm-hmm.
engage with.
You know what has shaped me more than anything? If somebody says,
Is that working out?
yeah, it
Does that
is.
shape ourselves?
Yeah. If I could just figure out how to get my waist a little bit smaller.
How do I do that?
Now, where was I going?
I'm sorry.
No, if somebody asked me what shaped my sense of self more than anything else, would be failure,
Oh,
making mistakes, because I don't learn unless I make a few.
Well, and I hear you there.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
gotta
good
make
one.
mistakes.
That's a good
You
one.
gotta
And
think
learn
people-
from 'em.
I don't think people need to suffer, but I think they need to go through trials and tribulations before they get to where they're a better person.
Yes. And I think when you go through those, then you can try to see a blessing in tragedy like that, or in, the hard things that we go through. There is a lesson to learn, and you can turn that into a positive thing, or you can let that just beat you down.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
And part of that is patience.
True. There's so much.
Somebody says, you just need to learn patience. And I'm like, okay, I'm waiting.
Where's the next thing?
I'm waiting. You got to learn the patience. You can't just say, I'm trying to be patient here.
You look a little angry there, Dan. Your little face got red.
Ooh.
Anyway, today's topic to ponder is what shapes our sense of self and how does it evolve over time? I'm done with that one. That was complicated.
That was pretty complicated.
But if you would like to, we would like for you, our viewers and listeners, to fill us in on what you think. I don't even know if it's up there, Dan, because I don't have my iPad open.
Oh.
Well,
Poor girl doesn't have her iPad
I
open.
don't. And while you're looking,
I will look.
can we go ahead and
You just go right ahead and
whoop
do
it
your
on in there to history?
Today in History.
You got it.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
A breach of the peace was committed in Korea. The Security Council lost no time in pronouncing judgment, ordering a ceasefire, and demanding that the offenders withdraw.
74 years ago, the Korean War began as Communist North Korea crossed the 38th parallel and invaded the South. Brigadier General Carlos Romulo of the Philippines, the president of General Assembly, condemned the action the next day.
Okay, that was 57 years ago. The Beatles performed and recorded their new song, All You Need Is Love, during the closing segment of Our World, the first ever live international telecast which was carried by satellite from 14 countries. This is back in 1967.
Wow. Excuse me.
It is my honest belief that while the president was involved, that he did not realize or appreciate at any time the implications of his involvement.
51 years ago, former White House counsel John Dean, who would present much damaging evidence against President Nixon, began his testimony before the Senate Watergate Committee, and we all know how that played out.
I watched that back live, back in the day, 1973.
Wow.
We will not rest in our efforts to find who is responsible for this outrage, to pursue them, and to punish them.
28 years ago today, a truck bomb went off outside an American military complex in Dakar, Saudi Arabia, killing 29 American troops. This is President Clinton vowing that the killers would be brought to justice.
Okay.
We will always, always remember him. He is phenomenal. He will forever be phenomenal, and he will be the legacy like Elvis.
15 years ago, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, died in Los Angeles at age 50. Fans such as that one were very stunned by that.
Yeah, and I was kind of stunned about that too. I was like, gosh, he's not very old. Come on. I mean, this was back in 2009. That's 20
But I never
20-some years ago.
Stop to think about the struggles that people go through, you know, that are in the public eye and do it. You don't know. You don't know unless somebody tells you or it's obvious.
Well, it
what's
was,
going on.
wasn't it propofol that
put you to sleep with.
the milk of amnesia stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what they give you when you do a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
They were allowed to proliferate all over this country with no regulation. And here we are today now with millions of addicted children, teenagers.
This was 5 years ago. San Francisco became the first city in the U.S. to issue a ban on e-cigarettes. Anti-vaping activist Carol Magruder said it was about time.
Okay.
Are you a vapor? Or
No.
Do you vape?
No.
Have you ever vaped?
Not. I tried it, but I mean, not in a consistent manner. I mean, I just took somebody and did it, you know.
Oh.
But no.
Give me that.
Well.
Is that what happened? Give me that. I want to vape.
No, I just wanted to try and see what's the deal. You know,
what was the deal?
I don't know.
Anything?
I coughed and sputtered so bad, I didn't really care anymore.
Okay.
Before he announced the sentence, Judge Peter Cahill heard victim impact statements. George Floyd's 7-year-old daughter Gianna spoke on tape, recalling time she spent with her dad.
My daddy always used to help me brush my teeth.
Floyd's brother Terrence addressed his comments directly to Derek Chauvin.
What were you thinking? What was going through your head when you had your knee on my brother's neck.
Shortly after the sentence, there were comments from President Biden.
It seems to me, under the guidelines, that seems to be appropriate.
And outside the courthouse,
Say his name.
most supporters of George Floyd were generally satisfied with the judge's sentence.
3 years ago, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin were sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd, whose dying gasps under Chauvin's knee led to the biggest outcry against racial injustice in the U.S. in generations. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman had more.
Yeah.
I've been at this work for a long, long time, and I know how hard it is, and I know what it takes to get it done. I was there 30 years ago, the last time this nation passed meaningful gun safety laws, and I'm here today for the most significant law to be passed since then.
This was 2 years ago. President Joe Biden signed the most sweeping gun violence bill in decades. An unlikely bipartisan compromise brought on by a recent series of mass shootings, including the massacre of 19 students and 2 teachers at a Texas elementary school.
All right.
You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Oh, you had me several years ago.
We're going to get flagged for this one.
Wow. Why?
Well,
We're getting flagged for all of them.
I know,
man.
we get flagged for all this music.
Singer Carly Simon was born this day in 1943. She is 81, and that was You're So Vain. That was one of her hits. It's widely believed that the song is about her failed relationship with Warren Beatty, but Simon had never confirmed that.
Oh, we gotta find
inquiring
out.
Minds want
Let's
to
call.
know.
Let's call her directly. And
Do you have her number, real quick, handy?
I think it may be an old
We'll
number.
call her on break and see.
Some of these
And
phone
ask.
numbers, some of these numbers go to a phone booth, and I don't think there's phones there anymore. So I've got an old list.
Yes, you do. We're moving on.
You have nominated me to serve on the country's highest court, and I am deeply moved.
Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor was born on this day in 1954. 70 years ago, she was nominated by President Obama and became a member of the Supreme Court in 2009.
Okay, last one.
Could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts.
Actor, writer, director Ricky Gervais was born this day, 1961. He's 63. His many credits include The Ricky Gervais Show. So there you go. There's your Today in History. We have our guest waiting, and it's Becky McNabb, and we will go to break. And when we return, Becky will be in here with us to talk to us about Omaha Fire and Rescue Auxiliary, plus an event they have coming out.
Ooh.
So we invite
Good.
you all to
All right.
stay with us. We'll be back.
96.1.
Welcome back to Around the Table here at KHOZ, and we have in the studio with us Becky McNabb, and she is with the Auxiliary for the Omaha Fire and Rescue Association. Did I say that all correct?
You did. Perfect.
Well, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on here today.
Yeah.
I had seen, thankfully, Facebook does some good things. On Facebook about a fish fry, and it was on a page of someone that I knew, and that just opened up, and she led me to you.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
And I thought, well, what a great deal. You can talk about the event, but you can also talk about the fire and the auxiliary, I should say. So.
Well, the auxiliary, we had auxiliary a few years ago, and then we didn't have one. And this fall, our police chief, Matthew Price, his wife, Elizabeth, I believe she kind of got a friend or two, and it started very small, and we're still pretty small, but they had a yard sale, and then every year we have a Christmas parade. So the yard sale was in the fall, and then at Christmas time we had the Christmas parade. We had a yard sale with it, and that's kind of how it started. Well, then 2 weeks before the yard sale, we had a meeting, and I was nominated the president of that organization.
Of course you were.
And I had 2 weeks to get myself in gear and help them put this parade on. It was
well, that was
pretty
probably
rush.
A heck of an initiation into that role, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And we have had a pancake breakfast since then, and we've done an appreciation for the firefighters since then. And coming up on July 6th, we have the Gene Kenyon Memorial Fish Fry.
Now, who was Gene Kenyon? And tell us a little bit about...
Gene Kenyon was very active in supporting the fire department, and every year, for several years, he would catch fish all season long. And then we would have a fish fry. And Gene supplied all the equipment, and it was a really good success. And then Gene has passed on.
Okay.
And his wife, Pat, graciously donated the equipment if we promised to use it.
Good. So you continue it.
So, yeah, it's everybody in town pretty much knows about Gene there immediately in Omaha because everybody came to it. So it's a nice memorial to him.
Is this your first year without him present, or?
Yes, I believe it is. I believe it is.
So it's your first year to get her done.
Yeah.
It is.
If you serve on an auxiliary, you just help support the fire and rescue in whatever way possible and to raise funds for them. Is that kind of your purpose?
Well, we have kind of a dual or multi-purpose. Our vision is immediately to help the firefighters with whatever we can.
Right.
If they go out on a fire and it's hours and hours and hours, they're losing fluids and they need stuff to drink. They need energy snacks, and we have someone that helps us provide that.
Wow.
And then our long term is to get the community back involved with the fire department and the auxiliary, and we're trying to recruit Omaha residents to join this auxiliary. And it's not a ladies auxiliary, it's just an auxiliary.
Yeah.
They're men and women alike. Anybody who's a resident of Omaha can join this group, and we would just love to have help. We only have about 7 people in the auxiliary now, and we still do these events.
That's a lot.
It is. It is a lot, and it's a lot of hard work. So the more we can recruit and get people on board, it'll make it more fun and easier.
Hopefully we can help you get the word out that this is even an option for Omaha residents, and they can contact you.
Yes.
Who do they call? You know, what do they do? You know, if they're watching this right now and say, I want to be involved, what would they do?
They could give me a call.
Okay.
My number is 281-744-6506.
Okay.
And that's my cell number, and so you just call me, and we meet the first and third Monday of every month at 6 o'clock, and it's usually about an hour and a half meeting, so it's not terribly long.
Okay.
And we just discuss about events coming up and what we want to do next and how we can help the fire station.
Okay.
Do you ever work with some of the other fire stations too, or is it kind of a closed group?
We haven't yet. But there's been talk, like at our Christmas parade, to invite our surrounding fire stations to
Sure.
join us and be a part of it. So that's in the works. We
Now,
definitely
not
are
every
not closed.
not every volunteer fire department has an auxiliary.
Right.
I'm not sure what other fire departments do, but we do.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Well, that's
since we were talking about the Gene Kenyon fish fry, give us details about that if you can.
Okay, so it's going to take place on July 6th. It's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. We are having a cornhole tournament.
Ooh, all you cornhole buffs.
Yep, and that should be fun. We're having a silent auction, and there's lots of cool things that they have gotten donated for the silent auction. There is a cakewalk. There is a tug of war, I believe.
Ooh, that's nice.
Dan, you need to go on the tug of war.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll be the anchor.
There we go. So that should pretty much fill up that that time. And then we serve the fish.
And what do you get with the fish?
The fish we'll get. It's either fish or chicken strips,
Okay.
and baked beans and coleslaw, something to drink. Kind of the summer.
Yeah, the summer
traditional barbecue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is it catfish or is it just different?
It's catfish.
It's catfish.
It's catfish.
Okay, great.
Do you fish?
I have before, but not now.
But you would not be opposed to eating fish.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh heavens no.
Don't need to
Oh,
fish,
no.
but I sure will eat them.
Fried catfish.
What's the cost on the per dinner? Or
I believe it's $12
$12,
a plate
okay.
for adults.
Yeah, still good.
Not sure about children, maybe 8.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, we talk a lot on here about how the prices of everything have gone up, and you can't eat necessarily a meal for $12.
No, not a
out in the,
not a full meal.
not a full
No, I
meal.
mean, I
So
haven't
this
gotten
is-
a lunch for less than $15.
Exactly.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
dinner's 20-something.
So you can support the Omaha Fire and Rescue in that way, plus get you a wonderful meal.
Exactly. And we always take donations.
Okay.
If you couldn't be there, you could send a donation.
And that's how the community can help, is
Yeah.
by,
And I
supporting.
wish I had the address of the fire station, but I don't off the top of my head.
Okay. If you ask a question, I'll look it up.
Well, I was going to say a donation of just the simple things like a case of water. I'm sure that would be the first thing you would take out to a fire to help these guys, because they get out there, they get hot, sweaty,
Bottled
exhausted,
water, right,
just some bottled water.
I mean, we would take donations in a form of, if we had an event and we needed certain items to put that event on, food-wise or anything else, or monetary donations.
Sure.
We're pretty open.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have something on here. It says Omaha Fire Protection District. Would that be close to the right thing?
It's Old Highway 65.
Okay, it says 23713 Old U.S. Highway 65, Omaha, Arkansas.
I cannot say that for
Okay.
sure. I don't know, because
Well,
I don't know it off the top of my head.
It's Old Highway 65. That part we know.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, come to the fish fry and we can...
There you go.
And we'll tell you
okay.
just exactly what it is.
And the address, I didn't look at the address for the actual fish fry, but you're talking about this right here. You can find it.
Yeah, it's right
at
on
the fire
Main
station.
Street.
Yeah.
It's at the fire station. It's right on Main
right
Street,
there.
Old
Right.
65.
If you can get to Omaha, you'll find where all the cars are and where all
Exactly.
the fish smell. Just follow the fish smell.
And consider at that time to become a member especially if you're in the area.
Yeah, in the
there.
area.
Male or female, become
Absolutely.
a member of the auxiliary and help all the members there to support the entire fire department in
Right.
the area. So-
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a tight knit group of people. I was once a part of the volunteer fire department at Crooked Creek, and the best way you can support the fire system for everyone is to go to the other events.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of mutual aid a lot of times when there's a fire that gets out of hand, and they
Right.
say we need some more pumper trucks or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So yeah.
And a big deal about our auxiliary is bringing our community together, getting the community involved in this organization, because you just never know when it might be you.
Yeah.
Well, you're very right.
And you might need the help of the fire station.
Yeah.
And Omaha's a smaller community, so I would think that they would be very close knit and want to.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think it is a pretty tight little community. I mean, everybody knows everybody, I think.
Right.
And yeah.
One of your residents is probably listening right now. Actually,
She might be.
no, it's a him.
Oh, it's him.
It's our buddy Leslie. Anyway, thank you. Is there anything else that you want to throw out to our viewers and listeners about?
I just encourage you to come out on July 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. and have a wonderful meal and have some fun with your kids. And
Right.
it's a great family opportunity.
It's on the way to everywhere. Omaha is like accessible all over the place, so it's an easy way to get there and enjoy.
Yeah. Coming up July 6th. If you come back from the lake, perfect place to stop off.
Well, yeah, you can just whoop it on over on there and.
Yeah, come back
14
from Branson,
and
from town, and
you bet.
You don't have to cook.
That's
we'll
what I was
cook
trying.
it for you.
Great.
You said what I was trying to say, but
What's that?
I was not verbalizing. It doesn't matter anymore because you said it.
Okay. All right.
Thankfully. Well, Becky,
Thanks,
thank
Becky.
you very much for coming on. And if you have any other events that you want to talk about at some point, contact me and we'll get you back on here if that's okay.
Thank you very much for having us, and we just look forward to seeing all of you at our fish fry.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks,
All
Becky.
right. We need to go to another break, and when we're back, I don't know. We never know what we're doing.
I
Figure
do.
it out.
I always know.
You do not
I've got
know.
It. I always know. I
No, you
always
don't.
know. Yeah, I do.
Bye. Welcome back to Around the Table here with Dan and Ann on this fine Tuesday morning.
What are we doing?
Dan,
I'm
it's
not
time for you to figure it out.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready? We spend our lives not ready, people. At least here at the office, if you will. We're only here a little bit, you know, and that's okay, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do enjoy bringing you live coverage of nothing.
Play by play. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hey, you know where the world's worst airplane etiquette? You know who the worst state in the United States is?
The worst state?
The worst
for anything?
The worst people that live in the state have the worst etiquette, airplane etiquette.
I was going to say California. I don't know why.
Have you ever thought about that? Have you just contemplated that?
No, I have not.
What state has the worst airplane etiquette?
And why is that? Where is it?
Well,
first?
a new survey finds that Iowa.
What? Nobody even flies to Iowa.
Yeah,
or I guess they fly
there's
places.
passengers that get on.
Right.
They go to the Des Moines airport.
Because they don't know how to fly. Fly nicely. No.
A new survey finds that Iowa, Illinois, Virginia, and Texas have the most badly behaved passengers. Now, I could see why Texas, because they're big.
Because it's a big
They're
place.
just big and they're loud and
and there's an influx of different. I don't know how to say that. I'm not gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not.
Badly behaved passengers. Some of the bad habits they admitted to include reclining seats without asking. Don't you just hate that?
Well, I don't ask, but I don't recline it, but just hair sometimes. You know, if I was going to really recline, I would.
They only go back 3 or 4 inches anyway, don't
yeah,
they?
exactly. So that's not a biggie for me, except when you do have a tray full of stuff. That's kind of.
Yeah.
But
it's designed to recline, right?
It doesn't say ask your neighbor if you can recline.
I think it's the ones that just shove it back.
Now, that would be rude.
Yeah, that's a little rude.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ignoring the seatbelt sign.
The seatbelt sign's on all the time.
Well, then you should leave your seatbelt on, right?
If you're seated, you're supposed to have your seatbelt on.
And this one, and passing gas on the plane.
Now, that would be a problem. Have you ever done that?
Of course.
Yep.
Gas is hard to hold. Gas is hard to hold.
It is, people. You know that.
On the flip side, you'll like this. Arkansas, Wisconsin, Florida, and Ohio have the passengers with the best etiquette.
Well, hooray for us. How about that? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I am so devastated to know. No, I'm not. But
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's a warning on social media sites from the Surgeon General. Did you know that?
For what?
First it was cigarettes, then it was booze, and now Instagram. The United States Surgeon General says he'll push to put warning labels on social media sites so parents are aware that the platforms can be bad for their children's health. For their health.
It's true. Whether that be mental health. I mean, they might not be talking about physical health, right?
Let's see. Where was I? Research shows kids who spend more than 3 hours per day on social media are almost 50% more likely to have mental health problems. However, warning labels would require Congress to act, and no legislation has been introduced yet.
Okay. I had no idea.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there, if anything.
Yeah.
Just because it's introduced doesn't mean anything. Excuse me.
And,
Pardon me.
And here's a study that eating fish guts and bones might prevent cancer. You ready to go out and get some guts and bones to eat?
No.
What would it take to make you eat a sardine with bones? I love sardines.
I know you've talked
I
about
could
that.
eat those things every day.
That's disgusting.
Eating the bones, heads, guts, and all. How about it if it would prevent cancer? Because a new Japanese study found that eating small fish, all of the fish, will reduce the risk of cancer in women. Gosh, what about me?
You're just chopped liver, I guess. I don't know.
They found that all the gross stuff inside fish, like smelt and sardines, is packed with vitamins A and D, as well as micronutrients that would fend off diseases like cancer and early death.
I
All right.
had no idea.
Yeah. So eat
go
the whole
your
fish.
Eat the bones. But you know what? You have to grind them up somehow. You can't just eat a
Well,
bone.
these things are pressure cooked because when you chew on those bones, they just crumble.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I would think, if a sardine was good for you and would help your longevity and help ward off cancer, then why not get a big mackerel and just eat the whole thing, head and all?
Not a Big Mac, but a big mackerel.
Big mackerel.
Okay, Dan. Have you ever had did you take jiu-jitsu, any of that?
I took judo and then taekwondo.
Okay. Well, a family, just asked the phone store employee in Harris County, Texas about who saved them from an attacker, and it was a family who heard screams. So dad, who's an 8th degree black belt, plus mom and their 3 grown kids who all run the Taekwondo Academy next door, busted in and stopped the attempted assault.
Well, good for them.
So there you go. They knew what to do, and they
Yep.
weren't scared to do it.
Yep. Best thing to do is run away. But if you can't run away,
Right.
stand your ground and whoop that guy, whoever it is.
Whoop that guy.
Whoop that guy.
Okay.
You know, most Americans need about $5,000 to be prepared for the worst.
I've heard that.
Yeah, so you need $5,000
Well,
tucked
you
away
need more.
somewhere.
You know, in this day and age,
Yeah.
you may need more.
This may be an old poll,
Right.
a week or two old.
Right.
How much do you need to have saved to feel prepared for the worst? A new survey conducted by Talker Research on behalf of the Chime finds that the number of the most Americans is around $5,000. Baby boomers said they would need about 1,500 more than that. While Gen Zers said that they would feel prepared with less than $5,000. That doesn't mean they actually have it saved, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they'd like to have saved up. So don't feel bad if your bank account is less than what you have. But a good idea to pump it up, get it up to at least $5,000 and
keep it there.
And then when you got $5,000, just, oh, look what we can spend this on.
We need to take a break, Dan.
Okay.
I'm done with you for a minute.
All right.
We'll be back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are closing out our hour here at.
Well, you can close it out. I'm going to be here another hour. I'm going to stay here.
He just mentioned to me, he said, why don't we do this for 2 hours? And I can't tell you what I said to him because I don't think
I felt insulted. It's like, oh my gosh, a man would say that to me, not a woman.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going there, Dan.
Come on. You know you want to.
I
told him I would talk you into it.
That's what he said. If you believe that, you're full of poop. So, yeah, I think we're just going to stick with the hour. I believe the hour's working for us.
Working for us. Okay.
You
I like
betcha.
it. I was just pulling your leg. Could you feel that under the table? Pulling your leg?
Hey, I want to tell you something.
Okay.
We were talking about flights and different things.
Yeah.
You know. Well, if you're going to try to smuggle in some meth, don't hide it somewhere the cops are probably going to want to look, like inside of a bunch of grenades.
What?
A guy in South Carolina was sentenced to 18 years in prison this week for hiding meth and fentanyl inside hollowed-out grenades. Do you not think that's going to be a red flag?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Then there are the two idiots who tried smuggling smoke grenades through Pittsburgh International Airport this week, and they weren't even together. The TSA says you'd be surprised how many morons think they can bring a grenade in a carry-on. I would, yeah. I mean, I hesitate to use the word moron, but that was pretty moronic.
It was for moronic.
Yep.
You know, they've a 10-year-old boy was traveling on an air flight, and he refused to buckle his seatbelt. We're talking about seatbelts. And so they tossed him from the airplane, and he threw a tantrum. When he was asked to put his seatbelt on before takeoff. The drama unfolded aboard a short-haul flight in Colombia after the kid refused to listen to the flight crew or his own parents.
Ew.
The captain was finally forced to return to the gate where the little hellion was forced to deplane. According to the fellow passengers, the tantrum was over an hour, and his hapless dad didn't do much to make the kid behave.
Those are the flights you just want to not be on.
Parents need to be parents.
Yeah, you do. You don't let your kids just run amok on a plane.
Right.
I mean, but you can't really do anything about the crying sometimes.
No.
But, hey, do you know what today is?
Today is 6 months until Christmas, the very day.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. We're going to have to start shopping early.
Yeah. It's also Color TV Day on this day in 1951. At 4:35 p.m., CBS flipped the switch on the first color television broadcast right there.
And you know how many
73 years
TVs
ago.
were watching? How many people were watching on color televisions?
How many?
3.
Oh, really?
Oh, I don't know. I bet there weren't that many.
Probably not.
And what was the first television color TV show? I wonder.
I don't know, Dan.
I know that we bought our color TV because they promoted Bonanza in color.
Oh, and I used to watch it in black and white, and I didn't care.
Well, we cared.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Chinese Moon River Returns to Earth Day. The Chinese Moon Rover. So sorry. Rover. Chinese Moon Rover, not
Moon Rover.
Global Beatles Day.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and pop up on there. I know. National Strawberry Parfait Day.
National Strawberry Parfait Day, yes. Yeah. Parfait. What's the difference between parfait and just regular parfait?
I don't know. You want to read that and see if it says?
Ice cream, strawberries, and frozen custard makes
custard.
a parfait.
Yep.
A little loud there, isn't it?
Sorry about that.
Layered to a tall, fancy glass makes the parfait. It's French for perfect.
Oh.
Perfect. Parfait is perfect in French. Michael Jackson's death anniversary is today, and the CMA Fest, 8 p.m. tonight on ABC.
Okay. Well, that was all that.
Did that pretty quickly.
Okay. I don't even know any of these people that are having birthdays.
It's McKenna Grace's birthday. She's 18.
Simon. Do you know her?
No, I don't.
Jimmy Walker, the comedian. You know who he is.
Yeah, I do.
He's 77 today.
Yeah, Dynamite.
Exactly.
Soda Sommelier is 70 today.
Okay. Ricky Gervais is 63. I don't know how to pronounce some of those names, so I'm not doing it. We invite you to come back tomorrow for Ann and Dan on Around the Table.
We'll be here.
We will.
Join us.
Later.
From the Beefaroo Restaurant Studio, you're listening to the original